Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new weekly review. Some nice setups in the markets this week. At the beginning of the week, I was still involved in Euro Pound long. On the weekly, we have the impulse, correction impulse, and right now we are in the corrective phase, phase one. On the daily, we had this bullish M with the ABC correction until the 100 pip. And on the 4 hour, I was involved in this shoulder one, head, shoulder two. Price made a nice push, so I could go on break even. After I went on break even, I could take the bullish M, impulse, correction, impulse, placed it on top of the bullish M, rounded off to the upside, got involved. I was out on break even here on the first trade. From there on, we received the push on break even. We reached the almost 3%. Then I saw this nick over here. We reached the first structure as well on the daily. This I see. So I placed my stop loss on the 1%. And by the end of the week, we got out on 1%. Then the next one, CAD Swiss short. Previous week, I took a loss on this zone. We could see the sellers over here, sellers over here. Here, sellers were kicking in as well, but we didn't have a tap yet, and we went right through it. So from there on, three things can happen. The price could go through, we could have a retest and go long, or we can have a potential fake out. So my bias is still short over here until at least the retest of this zone. Then on the 4 hour, I just had to wait for the price to turn with a shift of momentum. We received this one. Price came back more correctively. We had the shoulder one, head, shoulder two in combination with this bearish W. Place my zone on this IC like this. Round it off to the downside. 5 pips. And this was my daily first structure. And round it off to the downside as well. From there on, tapped in, break even, and the nice push to the downside for a nice win. Of course, you could think, "Ooh, I could have had like 2 or 3% more," but I followed my plan and I'm happy with the win. Then last one, AUD JPY. On the weekly, we are still making higher highs and higher lows. Price came back more correctively. And from the 100 FIB in combination with the FIB completion, we received the push, bullish indicational candle on the daily. Now we'll delete this. We had this bullish M with this IC. So from there on, I could go to the 4 hour. We can see some buyers in the past as well. We are in the impulsive phase. Then on the 4 hour, we had the shoulder one, head, shoulder two. If I go to the 2 hour, you can see it as well. We have the nick over here. Place my zone on the nick. There is no break. Can place my stop loss over here, but I just waited like this, rounded off to the upside, 10 pips. This was too much for me. So I gave the price a bit more space and placed it below this wick. Tapped in, break even over here. And from there on, there was a potential bullish M. So what did I do? I took the scale in, stop loss below this wick. Still no break yet, run it off to the upside for a nice risk to reward of 3.09. Tapped in, price went on, break even, and eventually on Friday, 2 times the take profit for 3.9%, 3.09 and 3.83. So great week. It was a week full of opportunities and execution. Now prepare for a new week and stay calm and just execute again. Enjoy the weekend. Bye bye.